welcome to The Explainer. Today we're going to pull back the curtain on a little bit of motion graphics magic. We'll be diving into Adobe After Effects to turn a simple static image into something, well, something dynamic and beautiful. You know those incredible animations where it looks like a storm of particles is just dancing across the screen? And you kind of think to yourself, how on earth do they do that? Well, that's exactly what we're going to break down. We are going to build this gorgeous effect completely from scratch. So, what's the secret? The magic ingredient is a super powerful built-in tool that you probably already have, CC Particle World. Just think of it as the engine that's going to generate and control every single little piece of our animation. Okay, let's dive right in. Before we get to all the fun creative stuff, we just have to set the stage, prepare our digital canvas. But don't worry, this is going to be super quick. We're talking just a couple of clicks. So first things first, just create a new solid layer in your composition. This is basically what the effect is going to live on. Now, with that new layer selected, you just head up to your effects menu, find the simulation category, and drop on CC Particle World. And just like that, you've got a working particle system. All right, our stage is set, but right now our effect is just, well, it's shooting out these plain yellow dots. So let's get to the really creative part, designing what our particles actually look like. This is where we turn a basic effect into something truly beautiful. The first, and honestly the most important choice we're going to make, is the particle type. This one setting, this single little drop-down menu, controls the fundamental shape. It's the very building block for our entire effect. Now, you could choose simple shapes like lines or spheres, and those are great for standard effects. But we want something custom, right? So for this, we are picking a very specific option, Textured QuadPoly. And what's so cool about this one is that it unlocks the ability to use our own image as the particle, instead of just the built-in shapes. The second you select Textured QuadPoly, a new texture option just pops up. And this is where the real magic happens. We just point it to our image file, in our case, a file called petals.png, and bam! Instantly, every single one of those little particles transforms into our custom petal shape. So we've got our petals, but right now they're just shooting out in a straight line. It's time for us to become the choreographer. We're going to direct the motion of these particles. We'll use the producer settings to control where the particles are born, and the physics settings to control how they move after they're born. This is where we get to dial in that look and feel. So under the physics settings, we'll change the animation type to Twirly. That gives us that signature swirling motion. Then we can crank up the velocity a bit to give it more energy. And finally, over in the producer settings, we'll increase the X, Y, and Z radius. This makes the petals come from a big, wide, three-dimensional space, instead of a tiny little point, which just looks so much more natural. And there you have it. We've built the core effect, from setup all the way to the final animation. But here's the crucial thing. You shouldn't see these settings as, strict rules. Seriously, think of them as a starting point for you to find your own unique style. And hey, here are a few ideas to get you started. You can play around with the birth rate. Do you want a gentle sprinkle or a total blizzard of petals? You can adjust the life setting to make them fade out really fast or just kind of linger on screen. You could even combine this with other effects for some truly complex results. And that's really the main takeaway here. Once you understand what each of these core settings actually does, particle type, physics, producer, you're not just following a tutorial anymore. You've got a full-blown creative toolkit to build whatever you can possibly imagine. I mean, think about it. Using this exact same process, you could swap out the petal for a picture of a rock, tweak the physics a little bit, and suddenly you've got a whole asteroid field. Or use a spark texture for some kind of magical effect. The possibilities are absolutely endless. So the only question left is, what are you going to create?